the number of honorable MPs, especially from the NRM caucus. They were present. We had members of the press, both international and local media. And indeed, people welcomed the idea of the president assenting to the bill.
Now, we've seen various bills signed into law by the president.
Yes.
You know, if I get to hit the anti-pornography law,
yes,
that people have decided to call the miniskirt law, the president never called for a press conference
yes.
when he was signing this into law. Various laws that have been signed in the past few months or years. What made this so special? Why did the president have to call this press conference?
This bill was in a way very special because looking at the hype it got from the members of the public, both international and local, it seems like everyone was so much interested in knowing the fate of Uganda in as far as the anti-gay bill is concerned. And we all know the issue of gayism and lesbianism has always been an issue since time immemorial. We know it's one of the issues that have ever led to destruction of a generation, that is if you're believers. And it's such a big thing, especially looking at the culture and the cultures and values of Africa. It really is such a big thing, especially at a time when you have to preserve your cultures and probably see your country develop, because a country without culture and values loses it. You must develop synonymously as you carry on your cultures and values. So it was such a bill that was waited for. We know the international community had put conditions. So in other words, it was more of a bill to assert Africa and give its position over the international community.
Now, the president said a lot of things,
yes,
and amongst the things that he said, you know, if I remember very well, he's an example of where he said that it was a war he just got into himself, and unfortunately, he found himself on the front line. Does it mean that the president did not know what he was signing? Initially,
the president did not like the law. In other words, he says there was a lot that needed to be expedited before the bill is signed into law, and he wanted to deploy members of the media profession, of the medical profession, to explore more into it, to get to the synopsis of whether people are born homosexuals or it's just a nature problem. But because the parliament...
That's a nature bit.
Nature bit. But he says because parliament rushed into it when he wasn't ready, before he had deployed the team of professionals to undertake the research, it affected him in a way. But when it all went on, he couldn't sit back. He had to take it up from where it was. And initially, eventually he found himself at the front line, like a president. But he had to get over it, and he said he does not regret the stage at which it is now. He has to make decisions as a leader and protect the sovereignty of the country, which indeed I think made so many Ugandans happy at the end of the day, because we saw jubilations, chants, and everyone was really a little bit happy after the president had signed the bill into law.
Now, you hit on the president members. Could you try and mention some that you saw? Were they various dignitaries from all over the country?
At the State House?
Yes.
And not so many dignitaries were there, but certainly they were out there waiting for the signing. We had a number of international media. We had the CNN, Al Jazeera, all those medias were there, implying that they were interested in casting it and making the entire world maybe know what Uganda's position is about the anti-gay bill. Because many people have always thought of Africa as the best destiny for anyone. They think Africa is such a loose kind of continent where you can go live in harmony given the kind of people in Africa. But then when it comes to cultural values, which make the strongest pillar for which we are different of all other continents and probably countries, Africa must guard that seriously. That's why we saw the president come and speak aloud to the fact that these whites cannot overstep our freedoms and cannot overtake our cultures, because it's what defines us.
All right, then we also saw the president saying that that law has already, has always existed in the country.
Indeed.
And he referred to the penal code.
Yeah.
So why then did he have to sign another law? Was it an issue of proving to the West that yes, much as you're asking me not to accept this bill, we can do what we please as long as we feel that it is right for the country. And
these were the intricacies that the president also cited. He said, initially he advised Parliament that this law was in existence. There wasn't need for them to
come up with another
to come up with another law.
Yeah.
But he says the speed and Parliament of today, everyone wants to show they are big. So
someone had to shine at the end of the day.
Yeah. So he said, okay, now that it has come, laws are made for people, and it's people who make them. It's okay. They can sign a bill into law and have it again resurrected, because the other law, much as was there, but it wasn't working. Now the challenge is on the state agencies to take up the law that has been signed. So otherwise, when they keep it like the one of the penal code, it was never evoked. We have seen people being arrested for such acts, and they walk away.
Scot-free.
And probably another challenge would be the soliciting for evidence. It might be one other challenge, because it also came up, but probably the president said because the constitution was written by people of Uganda, it might be changed to suit the current times and probably be able to reprimand such people. Yeah, because we have a problem of proving beyond reasonable doubt that a person has committed a crime. But bedroom matters are not that easy to prove beyond your reasonable doubt, because you ideally will not take sureties to a person's bedroom. It's usually a business of two people. So we have like some discrepancy of the law that really need to be addressed if we are to really see this law being pushed to its effectiveness.
All right, now finally, time is still against me, but I have like a million questions for you, Ivan. But now, two more questions. I'm going to look at what the president talked about shining at the end of the day. We already had a law in existence, and someone had to shine at the end of the day. And when he talks about shining, I'm looking at a proponent, that is Honorable Bahati, because I was trying to follow him on international media. There's one where I saw him on an interview in the Rachel Maddow show or something, and he was still trying to, defend this bill. So one would say that looking at how much he's put in, he came out a happy man. Did you have a chance to talk to him? Yes,
I did have a chance to talk to him, and for Bahati, his joy was really justifiable. Like anybody who would start a project in the interest of the children of Uganda, we all know the reasons Bahati fronted the bill. He said it was in the interest of protecting and safeguarding children of the young generation. And indeed, we all appreciated that. Maybe he did not see the Penal Code Act being evoked to help these children, because indeed we all appreciate the fact that these people have been out there in schools trying to recruit our children into acts of homosexuality, and there had to be a concerned citizen to come up and see this.
Let's hope.
Yeah. So Honorable Bahati had every reason to celebrate, and he said it was a triumph after a long time, and he has every reason to celebrate it. He said all Ugandans should join him to celebrate, because this is a step towards protection of the child of the nation.
All right, now finally, the question that everyone could be asking themselves, as I could assume, is what next for the lesbians, the gays, and everyone in the country?
Now what awaits of the lesbians and gays is the law to start
I was seeing them seek asylum,
Probably they might seek asylum, but the president says
it's already said,
society should help them. They should be rehabilitated. They should be talked to. Because ideally, if they all think it is a matter of nature, that means it's about communities and induction.
Has someone had a chance to interact with these people before they could even get to sign?
No. The president did not have a chance to interact with them.
But did he hint on having wanted to maybe see these people?
Yes, he said
to find out what is wrong with these people. He would
give room to interact with them, because they need a word from a wise person, probably to guide their way. You can't abandon them like that. He says there is room for transformation. They need to be told what is right and dealt with. So they must be absorbed as citizens, and we must help them, rehabilitate them, and get them going.
All right, one fundamental question. I know time is really against me. Everyone is asking whether this has to do anything with the 2016 general elections. What is your take on that?
Very many people have thought
according
it's
to
a
what you said yesterday,
move,
is it a political move, according to what I'm hearing around the
those
corners?
might be the spillovers that come along with the signing of a popular bill in the public.
All right, Ivan, thank you so much
for
coming in and, drawing more light on the anti-homosexuality bill as it is. For now, we take a break, but stay with us because more is still ahead. Good morning.